May 2nd, Nova Scotia. A quiet morning turns into a nightmare. Jack and Lily Sullivan, gone without a trace. Two missing.
Two parents. Countless. May 2nd, Nova Scotia. A quiet morning turns into a nightmare. Jack and Lily Sullivan, gone without a trace. Two missing kids. Two parents. Countless conflicting stories. Were they sleeping? Were they in the kitchen? Was the back door open or shut? Footprints in the backyard. None in the front. No cameras. No witnesses. No solid leads. One lawyered up. One deleting messages. Where are the children now? How did two kids vanish while both parents are home? Who lost them and why? Now, leaked text messages surface. New players enter the scene, and the lies are starting to crack open. The timeline of the disappearance. Lily and Jack Sullivan lived with their mother, Malaya Brooks, Murray, stepfather Daniel Martell, and infant sister Meadow in a remote home on Gairloch Road, Nova Scotia. The house was located deep in the woods, off-grid, with no nearby neighbors, no security cameras, and no internet connectivity. There were no school records, medical histories, or official documentation available for Lily and Jack. Essentially, the children existed outside of any public system. May 1st, 2025, in the afternoon, it was reported that Lily and Jack were still alive. Some photos or videos may have been taken, but these have not been publicly released or verified. That evening, no one outside the home saw or heard the children again. From this point forward, the only narrative available came from Daniel Martell. Morning of May 2nd, 2025, Daniel claimed he woke up between 6 and 7 a.m. and saw Jack playing in the kitchen while Lily, wearing a pink shirt, walked into a bedroom. After
As they already said, they were both asleep. Didn't know that they were out in the yard playing. That's two stories. Now the third one was he walked them out to the school bus. All right, now number 4 here, he was up at this early time right here and knew what was going on after saying he didn't know what was going on.
going to the bathroom, he said he returned to find both children gone. The sliding door was closed. There were no signs of forced.
The other day, he said the door was open. Him, her, neither one can keep a straight story.
Entry or a breakout. There were also no visible footprints, drag marks, or any evidence that the children had walked off. Critically, there was no morning activity in the house to indicate the children were awake that day. Their beds were undisturbed, no breakfast had been prepared, and there was no.
So I'll be dang if a kid, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old get up out of bed and not make a mess out of the cover. How ignorant is that?
No noise or mess typical of two toddlers. 10:06 a.m., May 2nd, Malaya Brooks. Murray made a 911 call reporting the children missing. This call came approximately 3 to 4 hours after Daniel claimed.
How come I'm not seeing comments?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? I didn't do nothing. But
maybe no one's commented.
I seen somebody throw up a heart, but it says there's 2 on one line.
Maybe nobody's commented yet.
Well, I seen a heart go up.
Well, you can still probably see the hearts, but not comment because no one's commented. Here, I'll do this.
I don't know. Anyway, he said that he called authorities 3 or 4 hours after a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old went missing. You got that right, and welcome. And if you like my content, I hope you subscribe. I'll explain what we do here. We do a lot of paranormal. Out of all my time of before even becoming a YouTuber, I have helped found 13 children. Some not so lucky, some more. We do drawings, we do giveaways. You can win merch, items, all kind of stuff. No, you have to. Yeah, we do questionnaires to win things. We do things like cameras, GoPro kits, jewelry,
all kinds of things.
Shirts.
So subscribe and send us a picture. We'll put it here with the wall.
Tumblers. Got this kind and got this kind. Like smoke, kind of red, white, blue, a little bit of black. But we do a little of everything. And I know I do more paranormal than I do anything else, but it's not only paranormal that we do here. Sometimes it may just be a trip out to the park. Pretty soon there's fixing to be some trail riding, so that will come in handy. Could have. But the thing, what gets me is, see, now her and him, they wasn't talking. But now apparently they're texting one another on the phone, and she's trying to tell him what to say. But he's forgetting that he's already spoke on everything. And then he changes his story by going by what somebody else said. Why would you wait 4 to 6 hours to report your 4-year-old and 6-year-old babies missing? I'm quite sure it don't take 10 minutes to look through the house, seeing if either one's playing hide and seek, or walk around the yard. 15 minutes max. If you don't see them by that time, you get on the horn. Not 4 to 6 hours. And besides, I don't believe that no more than nothing. I believe this happened before they even claimed it. A long time before that. At least a week. Yeah, I mean up there in Canada, you know, it's a little bit worse down here. I mean, up there than it is here. Down here, about all you got down here is maybe a bobcat, panther, a couple, some black bear. But up there, you got grizzly bear. You got them mountain lions and cougars and you name it. Plus, it had been raining for I don't know how long. I've got a 4-page study here that I've got from them. And everything that's being told already, I've already got it. And I did that on the last update on Jack and Lily. I'm figuring right around the same thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's sad no matter how we find out. But I told everybody it's not going to be a good turnout. No way. Too much. Yeah. Too much time's gone by. Time is crucial, especially when it comes to a child. But so they start with the tale was they both sleep. But she goofed up and said, was my partner. Daniel, like that. So apparently she's been seeing somebody behind his back, and he may have known it, and maybe that's why this has happened. And the families has turned against each other, and now they're secretly texting one another. They're just digging a hole deeper and deeper every day. Yeah, that's me. It ain't what they say; it's how they say it. That's what I listen to. And there was a 6 minute and 40 something second clip that actually had her speaking on it, Malaya. And I found what 9 or 10 lies just in that 6 minute something period.
Yeah, it's not more than that.
I mean, that's just stupid. Okay. I mean, they're going to be held accountable for these children, regardless. They think it's going to be like Summer Wells and Sebastian and all them, but this here, they're people in general is getting tired of this. So yeah, but she said that she was sleeping and said that they opened the sliding door, which I know that's not true, and was outside playing. But as soon as she said, and I listened close, as soon as she said they were outside playing, she said, "Well, I wasn't aware though, but I was asleep." And then she didn't finish the rest of her sentence. So she didn't know they was outside. They both know where these children are, and they both know what happened to them. And I've got in writing right here where it says plainly, she didn't want to hear it or see us anymore. They'll never see us again. It's terrible. It's terrible. No, that's a bunch of bull right there. Everything that comes out of their mouths is a bunch of bull. And for me, I don't take it kindly when somebody does a child wrong.
No good
Period.
parent would just be asleep when their kids are not in the house.
Well, shouldn't they be up off and on with that baby? It wouldn't be 16 months old?
For real.
Something like that.
Babies have to have constant care and attention.
But through the whole time, ain't nothing said about it. But then if you're talking about outside, well, the only footprint was ever found was one that belonged to Lily. But yet, they found her muddy boot under the sofa in the living room of that trailer. There was no tracks for Jack. There were no footprints, full prints for Lily. Daniel didn't have no footprints there, but claimed that he was ahead of the searchers, head of the drones and the helicopters, and was wading waist deep into the woods until he just couldn't do it no more. But whenever authorities arrived, he was walking out of the woods and was completely dry. So, that dog won't hunt. Yeah, up and down. Yeah. You got it.
To have discovered their disappearance. It was the first official notification. From May 2nd to 7th, 2025, RCMP launched a massive search operation. Hundreds of officers, search dogs, thermal drones, and aircraft combed the forest and rivers near Gairloch Road. Nothing was found, no footprints, no discarded clothes.
Now, remember what you just heard. No discarded nothing. The second time they come and searched inside the home and headed back out to the trail, they found a pair of bloody undies, female undies, a sock and something else. I forget now. But they already had searched there. So who put them there? Yeah. Man, have you ever seen that movie Dumber and Dumber? Well, this is Dumb and Dumbest. Okay. I have got right around 9,800 sessions under my belt. And I've never seen anybody this stupid. And that's a fact. It's crazy. It's just literally crazy. Yeah, just to lead them in the wrong direction. That's all that's about.
Mm.
Yeah, like something out of a TV movie somewhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, if he thinks I'm gonna believe he's Superman, he's crazy as hell. That dog won't hunt.
No personal belongings. Some items, including a pink blanket, children's clothes, and a water bottle, were found in the woods, but Daniel denied they belonged to the missing children. May 7th, 2025. After 5 fruitless days, RCMP began scaling back the physical search. Investigators pivoted toward data analysis and digital forensics. The lack of any trace.
That is shooting from the sky down with the satellite. It would have the best technology for infrared that could ever be made. They could be hiding under a log. It could see a rat or bugs inside of a hollow log. So if they would have been anywhere roundabouts right there where they searched, it would have found them. Yeah.
Suggested this was no ordinary missing persons case.
Right.
From May 8th to 15th, 2025, RCMP partnered with Maxar Technologies and Planet Labs to obtain high-resolution satellite imagery.
And matter of fact, I'm looking right now at that shed, and I failed to put down shed. I heard it several times, but at the same time, it kind of sounded like summer a little bit, and I didn't put it down. But I told everybody the other day, yes, I should have put it down. Now, the tarp on it was faded out or whatnot, turning white and this and that. Now it's got a brand new tarp over the top, but it's all covered. Not even a way to go in. It's just all covered. I've got it right there on paperwork, love. Yeah.
Artificial intelligence was deployed to detect any anomalies on the property and surrounding areas.
And when I get done with this right here, I'll read it off page by page to you. It'll blow your mind. But remember again, I did this in the very beginning, the very first day that I was told to check out this here missing children's case. Nobody else had done it before then. And you'll see what has happened, what's going to happen, and the bad results to tail end of it.
One key discovery was a rectangular patch of disturbed earth, approximately 2 meters long, which appeared after May 1st and vanished in a few days. It was located off trail, away from the main house and pathways. To this day, RCMP has not confirmed whether this site was excavated or what, if anything, was found. AI also flagged a gray SUV that passed the property 4 times in the early mornings during the 2 weeks surrounding the disappearance. Another point of interest was a woman wearing a wide-brimmed hat seen at 2 distant locations on different days at the same time, a pattern that raised eyebrows.
So that'd tell you right there, they know with the cameras that they are setting that up to where it will be like a mirror reflect, seeing one in one place and one in the other. They're trying to play a good game here, but it ain't gonna work.
A small car was also spotted near an abandoned shopping center, just 800 meters from the Sullivan home on May 2nd. The vehicle did not match any registered in the area and remains unidentified. Mid-May to June 2025, Daniel remained in the house alone and continued to give interviews. However, his statements lacked new information. In a now widely criticized interview,
Have you noticed that he can't stand still? He will not look directly at the camera. If he does, he looks right straight back down. He just cannot stand still. And you know, Malaya's friend, day before yesterday, offered to watch the baby so she could go out and look for her kids. She said, I'm not going out there looking for nothing. She probably in her mind, she knows ain't no sense in looking and that it would get her further in trouble. But she's ignorant that she's not realizing her silence is what's going to get her in a penitentiary. They're both going to go down for this. Hey, Carol. How you doing, love?
Hey, Carol. Nope, Carol was leaving
He
the wrong
stated,
area.
I'm not their father, so I don't really have any rights.
That don't
That
make
drew
no difference. That don't make no difference. If they were in your care, which they were living with them. He was living there amongst the children and with her. He's part of their life. Him and her are the last ones seen with the children because they done threw out the deal about seeing the kids in public with other family members. That dog don't hunt. They done looked at every store, every camera footage there is, and there's none to prove the fact. So, good deal.
Sharp backlash from the public. Malaya left the home shortly after the incident, taking her daughter Meadow.
It happened that I heard party to the spirit box and come find out it was true. That was on a Thursday night, a Thursday evening. Well, Friday morning, she cut out. So something happened either late Thursday night or early Friday morning. But he claims that they'd been out of school for a little bit for being sick. Well, according to records, they ain't been there all week long. Across the road, the woman that had the cams up to show out their direction just so happened 4 of them cameras didn't have chips in them. Just so happened.
Ain't that a coincidence?
Ain't that a coincidence?
With her. She moved back in with her family and cut off all contact with Daniel. The CPS barred Daniel from seeing Meadow, citing.
So why would she fix it to where he can't even see his own baby? I got a statement from one of the kids there that said home is no safe place to be.
No child should ever feel like that.
No, they should be felt wanted and cared for and attention. And I believe it was Lily, and she said it's not safe at home. Poor little old babies.
His lack of legal custody. Her family reportedly refused to communicate with him at all. Meanwhile, over 180 pieces of community-sourced footage from dash cams, drones, and CCTV were collected and reviewed. None of them showed the children, nor did they record any unusual activity near the home on the night of May 1st or early morning of May 2nd. Beyond June 2025. To date, no charges have been filed, no remains have been discovered, and no sightings confirmed. The RCMP has shifted the investigation into a more serious criminal inquiry, no longer treating the case as a typical missing persons scenario. The texts from Malia. When it comes to the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan, few pieces of information have sparked as much debate and scrutiny as the leaked text messages between Malia, the children's mother, and their paternal grandmother. These messages, which surfaced in the weeks following the children's disappearance on May 1st, have been dissected for clues, contradictions, and potential indicators of deeper truths. Taken at face value, they provide a glimpse into Malia's mindset. But under closer examination, they raise more questions than they answer. One of the first key points in the messages was Malia's stated reason for keeping the children home that day. She claimed Jack and Lily were sick. Specifically, she said they had a cold.
I got it written down that they both have changed color. They were looking blue. Yeah, he knows that, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think that he's kind of scared of her that she's going to rat him out, and then she knows that you can't. I mean, I can't put blame just only on one person here. I mean, the kids done said both did it, or if it's just she was there and witnessing it, hearing it, it won't make no difference. She'll still get that charge. And if he did something, done it, then he'll get that charge. But regardless, I mean, they're going to get neglect. If they are found in the wilderness, in water or whatnot, it'd be first degree murder plus messing with a corpse. And there's a charge for all that stuff. So she's trying her best to just stay out of it, but it ain't helping her a bit. It's making her look worse. Yeah, they're both in together.
However, earlier reports mentioned that only one of the children had a cough. That discrepancy immediately triggered doubt. Why would both children be kept home if only one had symptoms? It suggested a possible attempt to justify their absence from school in a way that seemed medically plausible, yet poorly supported. Then came the explanation for how the children left the house. Malia said they exited through the back door, a door that, according to her, makes no noise when opened.
See, that don't add up. He said plainly he took the kids to the end of the drive to meet the school bus. And they even went as far as making something funny. Said that if the school bus driver acted like he wasn't going to stop, Jack would take his boot off and throw it at the school bus. I mean, she's telling she lives in a fairy tale world or something. I don't know. But she ain't right. I guarantee that. She's definitely not wrapped too tight.
This detail seems calculated. It offers a reason why she wouldn't have heard them leave. But this raises a critical question. If she knew the back door was silent, why wasn't it locked or monitored? Especially if the children were supposedly ill and needed supervision.
And I can tell you right now, some of them sliding glass doors, it's hard for a adult to open the stupid thing if them latches are hard, hard, sticky. Get them pushed, that dog won't hunt neither.
Line of reasoning appears to deflect blame by citing a technicality, the door's silence, rather than accepting responsibility for not hearing or noticing the kids leaving. Malia wrote that she was shocked the children would run off like that, and noted they had been missing since 9:40 a.m. This timestamp is vital. It appears precise and deliberate. However, Daniel Martell, the children's stepfather, previously referenced a different time, approximately 10 a.m. That 20-minute inconsistency might seem minor, but in cases involving child disappearance, time is critical. The mismatch suggests either confusion or deliberate obfuscation. Malia also to portray the children as naturally adventurous. She stated they liked to explore the woods and often did so under supervision. This again seemed to serve a narrative purpose, to normalize the idea that they might have wandered off on their own. But here too, there is contradiction. Daniel Martell claimed that it was he who took the children outside, and that Malia rarely joined them.
See, there's another tale. Says he took them outside. That is a damn lie. Lord have mercy.
So who was supervising the children during these outdoor adventures? The emotional tone of Malia's messages attempted to paint.
I mean, didn't they already say they was both in and out to sleep? Didn't know what's going on?
A picture of desperation. She described herself as distraught and claimed she never imagined they would run off. Yet there were moments where her language felt oddly detached, mechanical, even rehearsed. When the grandmother asked if she wanted to push for more search efforts, Malia responded that a big search team was already in place and more were coming. It felt more like a status update than a mother pleading for her missing children. In another notable exchange, Malaya mentioned that authorities wanted to speak to Cody, the children's biological father, implying that he hadn't seen the kids in some time. This statement came across as an attempt to redirect attention, as if suggesting that someone else might be worth looking into. But there is no evidence that Cody was anywhere near the children when they went missing. One of the most revealing parts of the conversation was when Malia acknowledged the possibility of abduction. She stated that many people believe the children had been taken, pointing to the total absence of clues, including Lily's missing backpack. Highlighting this detail subtly frames the situation as something beyond her control.
And he slipped up the other day. He said it ain't white no more, it's brown. I guess because of mud and weather.
It also reinforces the image of her as a victim of circumstance, rather than a negligent or complicit party. When the grandmother asked whether the kids were known to wander into the street, Malia replied, "Normally, no. But if they were in the front yard and someone stopped and convinced them to come over, they would go. They don't understand stranger danger." This sentence is particularly significant.
But now
It
they
sets
can't
up a
remember
very
how it's supposed to
specific
go.
hypothetical: a stranger luring the children away from the front yard. It feels like a soft foundation for a narrative that absolves any household member from wrongdoing and instead introduces the idea of an external threat. Several inconsistencies become clear when placing all of these pieces together. The precise time given by Malahia is 9:40 a.m. That conflicts with Daniel's version, which is 10 a.m. Her claim of supervising the kids outdoor contradicts Daniel's statements that she rarely went outside. The description of the children as both sick and yet active enough to wander also doesn't sit well. And the emphasis on the missing backpack, as if it holds some unique weight, feels curiously deliberate. The claim that the children like to wander a lot also stands out. It appears to be an intentional attempt to normalize their disappearance. This could be a psychological
There's no way to make that be logical. No way.
strategy to soften the shock of the event, to portray it as an extension of usual behavior rather than a result of something more sinister. Moreover, these messages surfaced during a time when Malia had become publicly silent. She had hired legal representation and stopped communicating directly with police or media. This made the texts even more important. They became the only insight into her perspective, the only lens through which the public could examine her thoughts and intentions. But this juxtaposition, private communication versus public silence, only heightened suspicion. Also worth noting is the role of the grandmother, who was very publicly active, attending.
I got it on paper that the grandma was there and that he faked it. That's the very words that come out of their mouth. He faked it. And the grandmother was there.
Vigils, posting daily about the missing children. Malia's choice to engage her through messages to be interpreted in multiple ways. On one hand, it could be a genuine effort to keep the family informed. On the other hand, it could be a calculated move to ensure a specific narrative spread through someone with influence in the public eye. Conspicuously missing from the messages are details about Malia's immediate actions after discovering the children were gone. Did she search the house? Call neighbors? When exactly did she contact authorities? None of this is addressed. In criminal investigations, what isn't said can be just as revealing as what is. These gaps in the narrative are not just omissions. They are voids that investigators are trained to examine closely. Ultimately, these messages do not paint a cohesive, trustworthy picture. Instead, they feel carefully constructed, shaped to guide opinion and deflect blame. While they may have been intended to clarify, they have only added to the fog surrounding Jack and Lily Sullivan's disappearance. Text from Daniel. For Daniel, the leaked text messages allegedly sent by himself, stepfather of missing children Jack and Lily Sullivan, have become a focal point in public scrutiny surrounding the case. These messages, reportedly sent via to Charmaine, a contributor to the YouTube channel It's a Criming Shame, surfaced a few weeks after the children disappeared. The timing of the leak coincided with growing suspicion toward Daniel from online communities. After the messages were made public, Daniel requested that they be taken down. This action raised eyebrows, suggesting either an attempt to disassociate himself from the statements or to minimize any legal consequences. The sudden removal only intensified public interest and skepticism. Among the most striking elements of the messages was Daniel's admission that the previously reported time of 10:00 a.m., the hour the children were supposedly discovered missing, was inaccurate. In his own words, the 10:00 a.m. time wasn't accurate. This small yet significant revision undermines the original timeline and casts doubt on the credibility of the household's narrative. Daniel also brought up Malia's mental health, stating she had it, in reference to postpartum depression. The use of past tense implies she no longer suffers from it, which contradicts the prevailing public belief that she may still be experiencing its effects. His decision to highlight this detail shortly after public speculation on social media has led some to believe he was leveraging popular narratives to shape perception. One of the most controversial aspects of the messages is the subtle blame directed toward Malia. Daniel's wording suggests she was emotionally unstable, possibly dangerous. He expressed a desire to return to the old Daniel, a phrase interpreted by some as a confession that he had not been his best self during recent events. This has led to theories that Malia was attempting to leave Daniel and that the situation at home may have been tense or unsafe. In the chat box, when the text messages began circulating, Daniel was quick to request their removal. This move suggests concern about how the messages would be perceived, especially if used as evidence in an investigation. Some viewed this as a red flag, hinting that he may have realized the damage they could cause to his reputation or legal standing. The messages also contradict earlier statements made to authorities and the media. By altering the timeline and introducing new claims about Malia's mental health, Daniel effectively disrupted the official narrative. If the original account was inaccurate, what else might have been concealed or manipulated? Psychologically, pointing to postpartum depression places Malia in a vulnerable light, potentially shifting public suspicion away from Daniel. This maneuver, however, becomes more complex when viewed alongside suggestions that Daniel himself exhibited controlling or pressuring behavior during their relationship. Daniel's demand to remove the messages after they were leaked also aligns with classic defensive behavior. Innocent individuals often maintain their statements unless presented with valid reasons to recant. Martel and Justin Martel live at ground zero of this tragedy. One made a secondhand statement. The other said nothing at all. Law enforcement has not publicly clarified their roles, nor has it confirmed whether they've been interviewed. The Martels may be witnesses. They may be victims of proximity, or they may hold keys they've yet to offer. What's clear is this: their place in this case is not neutral, not when children are missing, not when time is slipping away. Daphne and Cody Sullivan. Among the insiders, there is Daphne Sullivan, reportedly the aunt of Cody Sullivan, the children's biological father. Though not a household name in the investigation, her limited yet poignant presence in online forums has been quietly influential. Daphne Sullivan, sometimes spelled as Daphne, was not publicly recognized by any law enforcement agency or media outlet. Yet, through comments and posts in a group dedicated to the missing children, She became one of the first individuals to suggest that Cody had been formally interrogated by police. According to her, Cody, her nephew, was questioned for 4 hours. This revelation was significant.
Give me that paperwork. Is this thing?
It's all paperwork that was up here.
Huh?
It's all paperwork that was up here.
Boyfriend. I know they were together at the house. Hit in head. Nephew. Yeah, it's true. The mom did not want to see us anymore. Yeah, the nephew. It's the first time I heard a statement about a nephew.
Not only because it was the first of its kind, but also because it did not originate from official channels. Rather, it came from someone with personal ties to the family, shared in a community of concerned citizens, trying to piece together a fragmented story. Daphne's statements in the group went further. She revealed that Cody and his side of the family hadn't seen Jack and Lily for over a year, and importantly, not by choice. She wrote that the grandma hasn't seen Jack and Lily in like over a year, not by their choice. This detail adds a critical layer to the story. It implies that there was active estrangement, or possibly even a custody battle, that isolated Cody from his children. Whether this separation was court ordered, informally arranged, or due to interpersonal conflicts, the result is the same one half of the children's biological family was entirely cut off. Kidnapping scenario. The only trace left behind was a single dinosaur boot print near the edge of the driveway. Could this have been the point where a vehicle was parked? A point where the children exited willingly? Melia herself, in one of her more telling messages, acknowledged the children's vulnerability to strangers. She said, "If someone stopped in the front yard and talked to them, they would go. They don't understand stranger danger. But what if the person wasn't a stranger at all?"
Well, that right there told that you an unfit mother. Right there. But they done ruled out kidnapping.
What if it was someone they recognized? Someone that... The developments. One of the most talked about developments in the case is the news that Daniel Martell, the children's stepfather, reportedly passed a polygraph test. While polygraph results are not admissible in court and can be unreliable, especially in cases involving potential substance use or emotional flatness, the community still viewed it as a significant step. At the same time, authorities have allegedly begun analyzing laptops and mobile phones, most likely belonging to Daniel and possibly others living on the property. These devices could hold vital clues, including digital communications, search history, or GPS data relevant to the children's disappearance. Daniel's reported success with the polygraph sparked a wave of public demand for transparency from the rest of the household. Many now insist that everyone living on the property, including the children's mother Melahia, Daniel's mother Belinda Martell, his brother Justin Martell, and even Melahia's extended family, should also take polygraph tests. The reasoning is simple: if they have nothing to hide, then passing a polygraph could help clear their names and pave the way for the activation of an AMBR alert. For many in the public, it's not just about who is guilty, it's about who is willing to cooperate fully. Recently, Multiple eyewitness accounts and video footage have documented heavy police activity at the Sullivan property. Residents and online users have reported seeing at least 3 unmarked, blacked out vehicles parked outside. Several officers were observed.
That's what they need. But there is no proof. It's not been put to the public to where if he has actually did a lie detector test. And like I said yesterday, he could take 1,000,000 of them and wouldn't do no good. They both know what happened. They both did it. And she thinks hiding behind money is going to do her any good. Well, that's just dumb as a box of rocks. That ain't going to work. But like I said, everything we've already got is what is now being said and what will be said. I can't get these children out of my mind. I guess when you have children of your own, little things like this, hit harder. It's pathetic. I don't know. I really don't know. I know tonight I'm going to try to reach out back to Jack and Lily and see what they got to say now. We'll probably come around 9:30, something like that. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you then.
I had to.